just like you said, it might be just, you know, how we talked about it earlier. It might be some slander, you know what I'm saying? But it never was really like, don't have my child, don't have my children around her, or nothing like that.
Did you write my name on there?
Yeah, it's on the bottom. You see it right there.
Yeah. Just go ahead and put my name on it.
That's it.
Everything that we do exclusive, make sure that it's all inclusive. I was taught make no excuses. As a man, you can't be useless. Man up cause these people ruthless. Down, these thoughts clueless. Lobster Mac, I'm up at roof. Chris, from my tone, you peep the smoothness. In this world, you get the loot. Then your dreams is gonna be lucid. Fool me one time, shame on you. Second time, you gonna be foolish. All that BS for the birds that come to me, I'm chucking deuces. I stay loyal to the soil, never out here breaking truces. On this road, it's bumps and bruises. Either you move smart or stupid. Nike's on my feet, yeah. And I got a couple swooshes. We ain't have...
All right. Okay, good one. Are you comfortable with another man being a father figure in your child's life?
I never had the issue with it. To be honest, I always hoped that my daughter's mom would find somebody that made her happy and maybe let up a little pressure off of me, you know? And when she did have people, you know, that she was dating or was with her, you know, and I would always just kind of ask my daughter, like, whether or not she liked them or how they treated her or whatever. But I never had an issue with it. Never bothered me one little bit.
I'll be lying if I said I didn't.
I'll be lying.
You know what I'm saying? And this is just from the experience that I went through. Yeah, at first, because the dude that she was with is the reason that my children was going to leave. Like, she was going to leave the state I was in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the time, I was blaming that all on him because he was the reason why he was out of state and she's moving to where he is. And I'm like, nah, you know, my girls were still small. Like, my youngest daughter was only like 7. So I was not feeling that. It was way too fast. It was way too fast during the time that I was like, nah, I don't be really feeling my girls moving in with somebody that fast. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's a different, I feel that since it was the females, the girls, as a man, you don't want another man raising females. Because of the relationship that normally men have with their daughters. Right. It's different with the daughters and the mothers, or the sons and the mothers. You know, if you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say my sons too, though. Also, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, during that time, like, I'm cool now. You know what I'm saying? But during that time, I just was like, nah. Like, you ain't nobody gonna be fathering my kids but me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't with, but you know, growing and having the more understanding, and you know, it is what it is. You know, definitely, as long as I know that, you know, this guy is thorough and whatever, yeah, he can father and coach and throw the ball if he wants. So yeah,
I would say I never had a problem with it. Shout out to Ronald and Man. Those are my other. They're not my kids, but if something was to happen to them, they need something, they know they can come to me. My son, biological, is Damien. My other son is Marquise, but my son's mother have 2 other kids. Okay. I've always treated them as if they were my kids. So if I had an opportunity to help them out, I know that might sound crazy. And my wife used to, well, my girlfriend at the time, before she became my wife, she was looking at me like, being that they're your brothers, they are my sons. They're just not my biological sons, and I'm not obligated to help them out. But I will still help them out as kids or as my sons, if that make any sense. But both of the fathers were great guys. I think as long as they not teaching them anything crazy and they're good people, I wouldn't have a problem with another man raising my son.
Yeah, you grown, you get a little understanding. And then you feel like if it's flipped, you know, if I'm involved in the family, because I like children, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm fathering somebody else's child, I wouldn't want them to, you know, be the way that I was being at one time.
I'm a fair guy. I mean, you know, I put her in a situation where she has to let another woman raise her child. So if she was to find a significant other or was to get married during that time, she's 21 now, it don't matter anymore. But at that time period, you know, I wouldn't have had a problem with it as long as he treat my daughter fair and kind. I mean, you get a chance, you got to move on too.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
You also got to worry about what you control and what you don't control.
What you
too.
can.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have had an issue with it. You expected to move on, so.
Yeah.
Did your ex ever say that she didn't want your child around your spouse? If so, did you follow through with the request? I don't really ever remember my ex saying anything like that. There was some stuff like that I guess my daughter must have came back and told her, you know, like what went on the weekend or the week that she was with us or whatever. And she might have sent me like a text message or something and saying, tell your wife this or tell your wife that. But for the most part, if it wasn't something that I thought was like, you know, that she was doing, which, you know, I would already check that was like completely out of line. I just kind of was like, yeah, okay, you know.
Yeah. Oh, is it again?
I would say that don't apply to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Yeah.
No, just like you said, it might be just, you know, how we talked about it earlier. It might be some slander, you know what I'm saying? But it never was really like, don't have my child, don't have my children around her, or nothing like that.
Did you ever write my name on there?
Yeah, it's on the bottom. You see it right there.
Yeah. Just go ahead and put my name on it.
That's it.
It became a survey.
Survey. She dug deep on that one. Okay.
Hey, look, when you get home, so when you answered question 7,
she gonna be watching the video. What you talking about? Hey,
I want to see. You don't want to see the edited version. I want to see the full version.
Like, just to be clear, them not being here doesn't save us from anything.
Oh,
no. Don't lie.
Sounds like you got some talking to do.
Yeah.
So
yes, man. Like I say, my thing started off chaotic. It was rough. I remember being in my uncle's basement with my daughter and looking at my uncle dog and my uncle and them having parties, and I'm thinking this ain't an environment for a little girl.
yeah, that's it.
But yeah, it was rough, man. Like I say, when two women don't like each other, and you know, like I say, one you got the broken heart syndrome and the noob syndrome, and you in the middle. It's heated, brother.
Yeah.
And the child's in the middle, and you trying to protect the child. The whole situation get rough, man.
Yeah,
it got rough. So I experienced being on my uncle's couch or something with my daughter, looking at her because I got the weekend custody, and we're looking at my uncle's dog. But I did what I had to do to spend time with my daughter. And then you don't want to keep bringing drama over there to your wife or where you live and stuff like that. So she don't understand it. But you're trying to protect her as well.
Yeah. And you talk about being in the middle. Like I said, I mean, as fathers, we're gonna take a beating no matter what. We're gonna lose no matter what.
You're gonna lose no matter what.
No matter what.
Lose.
Yeah.
And
that smile says it all. That's it.
That's it.
When did the threats from the ex stop affecting you? I would say once I got custody, full custody, but still after that, you still feel some of them threats. You still feel some of those threats. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of any offhand right now, but there still were, just even the threats of going back to court or the threats of, just bull crap. They still do. But after a while, I was just like, you really can't do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Not that you could before, but it involved the children. You know what I'm saying? Because we, as men, just like you say, we get the short end. We always feel like they're going to be in control when it comes to the children. You know what I'm saying? The court paints that picture, and basically that's how it goes majority of the time, where it's like, they're in control. So yeah, the threats, they kind of died down after I realized, like, you know what, man, like, you don't have nothing.
You don't control me.
You don't control me. Yeah, you don't have nothing. I got the kids. So yeah.
For me, it was in stages. My daughter was born, I was 20 years old. So, the biggest worry for me when I realized that things, weren't going to work out, right? Was, every threat meant to me, oh, I could have to pay child support, right? In the beginning, that's what it was all about. It was like I was getting my daughter, all that type of stuff. And the biggest threat was I could have to pay child support. Then the other threats, became the withholding of being able to see my daughter. And it became a reality, for like 3 or 4 months, I didn't see my daughter. And the reason why was because and I don't know whether it was, I'm not going to say it was related, but I'm going to say it was related to the fact that she met Lee, right? And then they moved. I didn't know where my daughter was, right? And then even after that, the only way I could do was meet her at the metro stop. That was it. I couldn't know where they lived, where she went to school at, nothing. Daycare at, nothing. So that, and then over time, you do kind of like, as they get older, you start to feel like, well, you can't do this because of this, or you can't do that because of that. And after all the court stuff, but still, like you said, those little things, they don't, and I haven't gotten a one that was on any level affected me in years, but just, the thought of it, because it was so bad for such a long time, because it was volatile. It was like, oh, you talk about names and stuff, just every name in the book, both ways, right?
Yeah.
So,
I would say I was actually good with that part. My son's mother, in the beginning, she tried to take everything from me. I remember I was working with Colonial Parking, making $2.10 an hour. I had to give her my whole check except for $10. And she was I know, but I live with my moms. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm a hustler by nature. Yeah. Not, but
at the parking lot.
Yeah, at the parking lot. You know what I mean? No,
tips.
When I say,
you were hustling tips.
Look, no, seriously. When I worked there, I was that guy when you brought your car in, you want your car washed? Yeah. I got that. You want we had a FedEx and the cleaners around the corner and a florist. So I got in good with majority all the attorneys. When they spouses anniversaries would come, I would know it. Yeah. And I say, hey, that's coming up. And he said, oh man, I forgot. I already got the flowers for you. So that actually kept me above ground. Yeah. You know what I mean? Above water. And because she took everything. And I think trying to say I'm going to use your son, that didn't work with me because at that time I was like, I didn't want no kids anyway. You know what I mean? So, I wasn't like you. I was like, all right, I know I'm doing my part. You know what I mean? I'm doing my part by financially making sure that you good because when she started doing the threats of you're not going to see your son, I'm like, listen, don't put me in no corner where I think I don't have no options because when you do that to me, I start losing all reality. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. I don't think you're going to do it. And then when she did it, it was like, oh, damn, she was serious. You know what I mean? And she moved. And look, we're in D.C. Yeah. Now, she lived in Waldorf. This was back in the 90s. It's not as pretty as it is now. Yeah. Waldorf might as well have been in New York. Okay. You know what I mean? So, and when she went down there, I was like, there's no way I'm going down there. I don't know how to get down there. Plus, I didn't have a car. I mess around how to steal a car to drive down there and mess around and get caught or something, acting up. So the threats, she used those, but they didn't work. And I think she matured up a little teeny bit. So I have to say she matured fast. Somehow something happened to her where she stopped trying to threaten me with not seeing my son and making the child support go up. But I got $10. What else you going to take?
You got any advice on how I can make that happen?
What?
I could have used that advice years ago to maturity, like how to make the maturity happen.
Man, I just think because once she realized she couldn't use the not seeing my son as a weapon, you know what I mean? I was like, you got the money? Yep, that's it, good. I wouldn't even use my phone. I would call on somebody else's phone. Hey, this is Kenny. You got the money? Yep, cool. All right, boom. That's it. So you don't need to talk to me and I don't need to talk to you. And everything was good. You know what I mean? But as a parent, and she's a good woman, you know what I mean? She turned out to be a good mother and a good provider. But I just think the youngness in her, because I had my son young, I think the immaturity took over and she just wasn't rationally thinking at it. So she did stuff like that. But, once she did good, because once I started working where I'm at now, the guy was like, you only paying $50 because they still going off that $2.10. You know what I mean? But look, Mary used to tell you all the time, like, oh, how much he paying? Oh my God, Lord, oh Lord. You know what I mean? Jokers was paying $1,700.
I know.
And my son Ma was like, nah, you good. But I think because I was taking care of her other kids and she didn't want to disrupt that because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do by the courts.
And more.
Plus I'm doing more. You know what I mean? So
well, see,
I appreciate that.
So that's leverage, though.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you lucky, but you're lucky that you got a woman that, because, I mean, it's women out there that is going to still be like, oh, he doing that, and I'm still going to try to get more. He's still going to try to.
I want to see you dead.
You know,
that's what they be like. I want to see you pockets dead. I want to see you dead. I'm like,
man, for nothing.
I'm just thankful, man.
I got to say that weight of like the thought of not being able to see my daughter, that threat always had a lot of weight with me. Like that was a scary thought for me.
And that's probably the number one thing for fathers when they start going through stuff like that is you trying to hold the child.
Yeah. Why?
And they don't care. They don't care if it's gonna hurt the kid. I mean, at the end of the day, some of them just don't care. They just gonna do it just for them.
Yeah. Like what he was saying, it's personal. Yeah. I want to feel better by making you feel bad.
So when do they stop affecting you?
I think the threat stopped affecting me because I had like joint custody of my daughter. I even paid my ex child support just to have joint custody of my daughter. And people say, you pay child support and you paying even on a week you don't have it. But it wasn't about me, it was about my child. So I wanted to make sure my child was raised right. But I think the threat stopped when my daughter decided to stay with her mother. Okay. She broke my heart. She left me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
I just keep it. That's when the threat stopped.
That's when they stop.
Because she stopped the threat. When she chose to say, I want to stay with my mother. And if out of good conscience, I get it.
Yeah.
She was tired. She was older. She was tired of bouncing back and forth. So when she made that choice, for me, the threat stopped. And it helps when she turned 21. And I can't go to court no more anyway.
I mean, I understand how that helped, but then that's still messed up in the sense that, you know what I'm saying? That the threat stopped once. You know,
yeah, because it wasn't a threat. No,
but wholeheartedly, I don't want to cut you off, but if your child chose to stay with you to be happy, then you would still get.
Oh, the threat wouldn't have stopped. The threat would have picked up.
She was happy with her dad. You would still be getting started.
Yeah. So that's when the threat stopped for me, when she made a choice, and then the threat stopped because you chose to be there now.
So and for me, I got joint custody in court, and I saw how it went. Like I said, I went to court more than 10 times trying to get custody, right? And I had won 6 months out of the year, right? That was what we agreed to. And then when she went back to live with her mom took her out of the school that I was in, didn't communicate with me at all, and we had joint legal and physical custody, and just took her out of the school. So I think, well, that's a violation of my rights. So I take her back to court where the judge gets pissed off because I brought her back to court over her taking her out of the school, even though I felt like that was my only recourse. That's what I'm supposed to do. But the judge got mad and said it in the court that you can't keep bringing back every dispute you have back to court. I was like, well, what was I supposed to do? Right? She took it away. Yeah. And so even though I had the joint, so in my mind, like, you got to, like, you know, everything we lose makes us stronger, but it changes us too, right? So in my mind, watching the judge do that, that's why the fear never went away for me. Even though I had the physical custody, the joint physical custody, I still was like, man, do you see what happened in court?
It could
and I didn't do nothing.
Yeah. You did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah,
what you thought you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
boom, gone. Back to weekends. You know, like that. And I didn't ever want to go to court again after that. I was done. I lost. That's it. That was when my heart got broken right there.
Yeah. I think we all have some of us have like a heartbreak moment. Yeah. And when your heart get broken, it changes you.
Oh yeah. You
adapt to the game.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be a good one. This one will apply to me. Well, I don't think it does.
You wrote your name on?
No. How did it? Did you handle it when your baby mama flirted with you when you was in a new relationship?
It never happened.
That didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say
never happened.
That never happened with me. my son mother, she already knew. My wife, you know my wife. Y'all ain't get a chance to meet her, but people say she has a look like she don't play. Okay. So many people be like, man, your wife don't play. Your wife mean as hell. And I'm like, nah, man, my wife, she's sweet, she nice. But she just got the look that my son's mother, she just don't, nah. And plus, the size difference. You know what I mean? My wife's like 5'10". Okay. And my son's mother's like 5'4". You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, she gonna be like, I'm not even gonna try. So I didn't have no situations like that. I'm pretty sure the guys didn't have any situations where the other person tried to flirt with you while you were in the new relationship trying to get you back. You know what I mean? So
nah.
Go ahead.
Nah.
No.
No.
That's no for everybody. Good job.
No.
Because you know that do happen sometimes. They think they can get it back.
It does.
Especially with your situation. You know what I mean? She see all the stuff materializing. You get in the house and all that. I want to get back. So.
All right. Has your child ever apologized to you for their past mistreatment of you? I'll say yes. My child has apologized to me. And I accepted. Thought it was great. Because she was told I was a devil. In many other words, you know. So she apologized to me. She told me, I think she was like 16 when she realized I wasn't a devil. Okay. Like, Daddy, you always been there. All my games, all my school activities, and everybody else beefing, and everybody else ain't showing up. You always the one in the stands, and I guess Satan was always there.
Right. But like we said earlier, actions speak louder than words. People can tell you one thing, but if you are there long enough, the action is going to show you this person. And kids are kids. You know what I mean? So they don't understand a lot. And as they mature, they're going to see that. And most kids know that parents have their back. Even the step parents or whatever you want, they got their back if they're good individuals. Now, if they're not good individuals, then of course I don't think we would be with them. You know what I mean? If they weren't good, you know, spouses. So
yeah, most recently my daughter also apologized to me. She is the youngest of my daughters. She apologized because she probably sees what it is, just like we talk, you know, what it is now. So when I moved here 4 years ago, her coming of age, 16, 17 years old, she got this little boyfriend at home. She don't want to move, you know? So she started like doing the whole pitting me against my ex and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't want to move. So she started saying, I want to move with my mom. If you moving, I want to go move with my mom. I don't want to move to Maryland. You know, whatever. Her real vice was trying to get me to stay in Jersey. Okay. She thought I was going to be like, okay, if you're going to do that, then I'll stay in Jersey. At the time, I just was like, you know, it's not going down like that. We're moving. So she put the battery in my ex's back to take me to court so she can go live with her mom. We went through about a year of friction, bull crap, you know what I mean, with that, leading up to me moving, you know what I'm saying? And I had got to a point where I was like, you know what? She's 17 years old. This is what she want. I let her go live with her mom. And probably was like maybe 5 months ago, you know what I'm saying? Where we just was talking, you know, they get to arguing. And she was like, you know, I really wanted to tell you, you know, I've been wanting to tell you that I'm sorry for all the stuff that I did, you know what I'm saying? And I realized that, you know, where I should have been. In the shorter terms, that's what she said.
Felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, oh, no doubt. Yeah. And like I said, like like, you know, when I was going through this, you know, I was still 33, 34 years old, going through a divorce with 6 children, you know what I'm saying? So I had the older people telling me, you know, don't slander your ex, you know what I'm saying? And just do what you're supposed to do. And the children and it's hard. It's hard, especially when they're constantly doing that, you know what I'm saying? Because they know either they're in the wrong or just the bitterness. So they do the whole talk about your new whoever you with now. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever little fault you get, whatever you ain't doing on time. You know what I'm saying? They bring that to the forefront. But, you know, all in all, you just keep doing what you're supposed to do. And the children going to see it. They going.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not my daughter ever really apologized to me. We've grown a lot closer. Like, you could tell that her attitude towards me changed over the years. So maybe in that way she did, but not really come out and say it, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, you know, it takes, like, I was really, like, impressed as aware of who she was, Zayna was, when she did the video. Like, most even young adults, most people 30, 40 years old aren't that aware of who they are and able to self-reflect like that. But so that's pretty good. So, you know, in a way, you know, our relationship got a whole lot better over the last, you know, I'd say 6 years, 5-6 years or so. And she's changed, you know, but, you know, I don't think she's ever like come out, like apologize for some of the, you know, some of the attitude I got, some of the stuff, but you know, I don't need it.
Look at
really.
I already say, I think you're getting it, or you probably already got it. It's the same thing with the actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes people aren't good with words.
Yeah.
And they'll just do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The more time you all are spending and letting her know, hey, Dad, I love you. That's it. Sometimes you're not going to get that. I'm sorry. I messed up. Because they might not know how to say it. I know I'm good with that. You know what I mean? My way, if I'm asking for, because me and my wife getting, you already know the last situation she's in. You know what I mean? And that thing, that thing hurt me to my heart, man. But I had to, and I was mad for a minute. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. But she already knew. She didn't have to say, I'm sorry. She just gave me a look and said, I love you. But I knew that, and I can feel all that energy come from that love, you knowing that you messed up. So you didn't have to say, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I just think her action showed, same thing like with your daughter, just spending more time, and the action will show. And you know what I mean? So they don't have to necessarily say it.
Yeah,
it can be
and we don't always need that.
Exactly.
No, we don't even need it. We just need to move on.
That's it.
Yeah. Because they're children in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
we never
it does feel good because I think it feels good on a note of recognizing I'm not the asshole or whatever.
Because you're always apologizing. Because you're always apologizing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've always got to apologize. Somebody else got to apologize.
For a change.
That's it.
So, does or did your child project their mother's opinions of you to their siblings?
Oh, y'all want to go first?
For me, that would be no. My son never did that because I think I was being that I had my son young and I met my wife when I was a lot older. A lot of that immaturity stuff, you know what I mean? I don't think I had to go through it because he was, you know, pretty much grown. You know, he was 17 and he knew better. You know what I mean? We raised him right, like you were saying with Zayna. And Jen did a great job, and it shows through your kids. You know what I mean? So I didn't have that problem. Thank God.
I can't say I had no problem because my kids are pretty young and they have their own impression of me because, like I said, I'm always there with them.
Yeah.
So even though Zayna wouldn't do that to other kids, just not her style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe not. You know, maybe some of the like when she gets mad, you know, when they get mad, they might say some stuff that was put in her head years ago from their mom or whatever, and that might come out when she's mad. But I don't think she's trying to like, you know, project that onto my son.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Well, I think because, you know, me having 6 and 4 of them being girls, you know, the girls get influenced by the mother easily, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that can trickle down a little something and being passed through to the siblings. Just that, and I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child. So firsthand, I don't really even know how the sibling settings go until I had children for me to witness it. But I know that, you know, they have their times alone, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to talk about their parents and they're going to talk about what's going on. And I believe that influence can be, you know, trickled down. It may not be nothing serious or nothing that bad, but I definitely feel that. Next one.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
Do you feel that in the past you allowed your child's mother to have too much power in your current relationship?
No.
I mean, I don't think so. I'm sure, like I don't think so. I've always been like a firm believer. Like even though I didn't see it growing up, like what a marriage looks like, I always felt like it should be like you. And even though there's kids involved, like your kids, don't get me wrong, are extremely important. But anything you face, you and your spouse should be on the same page first, and then everything else comes afterwards. So, like I know my wife would probably say that maybe there were some times I did, but I really didn't. I don't feel like I did, so we might have a disagreement on that. That might be what I get in trouble about. But
so this question is yours.
I don't know. Nah, my name's not on that one.
It might be Chris last look.
Look up under the box.
So, but I don't feel like it did. Like I said, I'm sure my wife would have preferred that I went a little bit, more tough on certain situations, put my foot down a little bit more. But sometimes, you got to kind of, just go with it, even though you might not like it, because, you want to be there for your kid. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna say yes. I made mistakes. Yeah. But like I say, ain't no rule book, ain't no chapter on.
See, I told you it wasn't my name.
on how to make this thing work. Because I try to walk a fine line. I try to make everybody happy. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I realize now you can't make everybody happy. Somebody gonna have to be pissed.
Yeah.
And by me trying to walk that fine line and making everybody happy, it impact my household and my marriage. So definitely yes.
Yeah, I feel like that question kind of goes with one of the other questions we have, as far as the influence that the ex tries to have, you know what I'm saying, and that being a problem in your new relationship, especially with children involved. Just like we talk about the children going with them and then them coming back with whatever information or whatever attitude that they have, and now they're back home, and it may not be quote unquote control, but now that you have this element back in your relationship back at home, it is some kind of control there. A little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because that element is brought back. You sent them out and they were fine. And then they come back, they got attitude, they got a problem because something was brought up or something like that. So now that element is back in the house. It is kind of like a control thing because she's sitting back at home like, you know what I'm saying? Like
let me see how this gonna work.
The plan's working.
just like
adds a little bit more stress to the household that wasn't there before.
It does.
It's extra little bad energy.
It does. I mean,
I want to say, like when Chris was saying, his mother said, the son's mother said, "Don't talk to him." I'm like, daughter said, "Don't talk," and I'm like, how is this gonna work out? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if I'd have been like, okay, don't talk to me, but technically, this is just how I would have been like, well, technically, you just talked to me, so should we rewind it?
We were good after that. Yeah. We were good after that.
Yeah, so
she came out of it after that.
Yeah, so that's wild, but hey, it is what it is. All right, next question. All right, if or when your ex threatened your spouse, did you protect them or allow them to mistreat your spouse? My son's mother never threatened my wife or anything. She's not that. She's like we say, she don't.
My name, whatever.
that ain't even her. You know what I mean? And nah, I was lucky enough not to have to deal with that. So, and if my son's mother were to get out of line with my wife, I would stop that right then and there. We don't play that. You know what I mean? You don't have no control. You don't have no leverage. And if I have to hurt your feelings, then it will be that. But she's mature now, so I don't have to deal with that. So I'm lucky.
I think the whole relationship been a threat. But I guess protecting them is not saying what the other party said.
Yes, because that can create a problem itself.
That create a problem in itself. I mean, I hear threats all the time, but I ain't taking the threat and carrying it back over here to this side.
It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I had to program Zayna to stop saying what your mama said over here and taking it over there, and what they say when they call each other the B word and all this stuff. Stop letting the B travel. I say because when the B travel, it get back to this side, and it's only going to instigate some more stuff. So yeah, they've been threats. I mean, I've been killed a couple times. And
and it's really messed up because children are put in this predicament to where sometimes they have to feel like they're on a side.
Yeah. That's what Zayna was saying. That's what Zayna was saying during the interview. And let the kids, you're doing your thing, but the only person you're really affecting, and if the parents really, the ones that's doing the negative stuff, think about it, you're affecting your child. You know what I mean? You're trying to affect him when it's not going to affect him.
No.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, because we all got thick skin, right? Like we can take it. I can take it. You can say whatever you want to do to me. Yeah, whatever. But the kids are the ones that really hurt in anything that happens here. In a great world, you find if you do have a woman that you have a kid with that you're not with, and you guys could co-parent real good together, that's perfect. But it doesn't really necessarily work out that way.
Yeah, the kid come on crying, think daddy about to disappear. You know what I'm saying? Why you crying? Daddy, you gone.
This your obituary.
Yeah.
What the? Look, let me look through this and say where it happened at. I'm gonna stay away from there.
I don't think she never threatened my wife. She did make a threat to call the police on her one time before, and that was enough for her to like kind of back away a little bit because she didn't want that to happen. But she never threatened to. I'm assuming that's physical. Yeah, she never made a physical threat.
My ex pulling up to the house and Jen putting the Timberlands on and everybody about to go outside.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Look, and Jen like, whose side you on?
yeah. And I'm trying to be the referee.
I guess I'm on your side, but I don't want this to go down. That'd be a bad place to be in.
Your ex is outside waiting on you. Oh, Lord. Man. So I've been through it all. Okay. How have you dealt with your baby mama drama in the past? That's a broad question.
How have you?
We're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, I think
we got like 13 minutes. You want to try another one?
Let's try another one. We still dealing with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
We still dealing with it.
We haven't dealt yet. Does your need to be in your child's life cloud your ability to see manipulation?
I mean, I'll say that no. I mean, I know I'm not stupid. I know when the situation's being manipulated, and like I said, I'll either personally, I set limitations based on the situation, so I know what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. So there might be times where I might know that I'm being manipulated and make a decision to say, well, it's better if I just do this anyway, or I might say, no, I'm just not doing it, but.
I agree with Chris. I mean, I know what I'm being manipulated. I know what the game is, but sometimes I just do it.
Yeah,
because it's easier.
Because it's easier to do it.
That's it.
We like the easier way.
Yeah,
the less dramatic way.
We're a little different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if this makes you happy, and you think you won, go ahead and take your W.
but like Chris said in the beginning, we always losing.
Yeah.
If you do this to make you happy, and if you tell the spouse she gonna be unhappy, or you can lose. You know what? I'll go ahead and take the loss.
You're in a bad spot anyway.
That's it. But as a man, you're trying to protect everybody.
That's it.
So
you're a protector. So you're trying to protect.
Right.
That's it.
And sometimes we let it happen because we're taking less of a loss.
That's it.
By going along with it.
Exactly. That's really what it is.
What characteristics can make the blended family dynamic less chaotic? Cooperation. I mean, I think that's selflessness and cooperation. And if you always put the kid in first and foremost, then you shouldn't have to worry about that.
Dialogue, talk.
Yeah, I won't say that.
If you can. If you can. Remember, I got set up a lot trying to talk.
You might need to keep separation.
Is it frustrating when your child act as if your effort and sacrifices aren't appreciated?
I think so. Yeah, I think we all want to be appreciated.
Yeah.
We all want to be appreciated. I mean, whether we get, we'll never, like as fathers, will never be appreciated as much as mothers do. All right,
Hey, look,
but
that's why
that doesn't mean that we didn't do as much. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Father do that. 5 guys.
No. Father's Day, he say, "Oh, let's call and get reservations. We got so many people here. It's a shame." Mother's Day, hello. We're not gonna have a reservation for the next 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's this big in CVS, and Mother's Day is 2 hours.
2 hours, yep.
You know what I mean? So, like you said, you ain't get appreciated.
Hopefully, when they're 30, 40 years old, they'll be real appreciative of everything you do.
What kind of things do you like to do with your child? Both of my sons are 30 and 31. All I'm now trying to do is just basically teach them how to be better men, take responsibility. Both of them has 2 kids, be good spouses, be good husbands. And what I try to do is let them see the example, opposed to just telling them. I want them to see it. And I always explain it to both of them, whether one person does something wrong or the other, I always try to teach them both together. And I want both of them to see, I want him to know what you did, so hopefully he can learn from what you did and don't make that mistake. So I guess being an example and trying to live the most righteous life you can live.
Yeah. I just try to love on them as much as possible, and just be there for them, be everything they need, and do what I can to support them. Just show them what a male figure should be in their life.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with definitely what a male figure should be in your life. Right now in this point of my life, I just like talking to my children because they are adults now. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in their 20s. So it's just the changing of the conversations now, going from talking to them like teenagers and talking to them like adults, I think is dope to me right now.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, just spending time with them, whatever they want to do, you know. I got 2 different dynamics. My daughter, she likes to go do everything, and it don't matter where you're going. You could be going to the store or the gas station. She want to go, like she just want to go. And my son, on the other hand, he's happy in the house. He don't care, right? So, but just
how old is your son?
15.
Okay,
The teenagers.
You play video games?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll play video games with him.
That's it. You got PlayStation 5?
Whatever. Nah, Xbox, man. Come on.
You got PlayStation 5?
Oh man,
You do?
yes sir.
Playing.
Man,
Okay.
Call of Duty.
Y'all gonna be up. Y'all gonna be up all night. Here you go. Here you go.
Glock 23.
Don't record this. All right. Don't record this. All right.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna battle now. Y'all gonna be up all night.
This will keep us out of trouble.
Exactly.
That's true.
Spouse trouble.
I was actually I waited in line for almost a day and a half to get the PlayStation 5s. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I wound up getting like 7 of them. So
now I got lucky because my son was home from the pandemic, so I had him on anything that anybody that was selling it. He was on the website. You know.
See, no, I got peep you to that. They got the bots now.
Well, I know.
You going up against the bots.
I deal with sneakers, so I know about the bot, but But not all of them.
They gonna kill all
them. Willie over here like, hey, we got a question related.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Let's knock this last question out. We on the clock. All right. With everything that you have been through, what advice do you give to couples thinking of divorce or separation?
Because of the kids?
Or just in general?
I'm just thinking in general.
Run for the hills. It's like,
I would say try to work it out. If you had, the key is communications.
Absolutely.
Now, if you can't communicate to work it out, then you probably should leave. Anything worth having, worth fighting for.
Yeah, and get help with that communication too.
Get a
if
professional.
you get help with that communication, it's only gonna be that much better.
That's it. So I hope I can do this. I have a relationship specialist. His name is Enrique Pascal. Good guy. I used to go to him when we first got married, and my wife was like, "We're not having no problems." I said, "Well, you want to be prepared, and I want to have ammunition when a problem comes. So therefore, we can actually know how to maneuver and communicate when a problem do come." You know what I mean? You don't wait for a problem and then say, let's try to solve it. But if you have problem solving techniques and things of that nature, you can maneuver better through any conversation and get to what's the problem.
Yeah, and learning about the problem before it happens, period. Because you may not know what the problem is.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, having somebody to help you learn how to communicate better is great because you know what happens with all of us, right? Like we might be talking about a sensitive subject, and we either get like pissed off because we know something's coming, or we're already mad, and we just say whatever, right? And so that's what ends up leading to bad communication. And if to the question, if you separate, and there's no fixing it, if you could figure out how to get good communication after that point, you'll be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. If you're separating, then have it in your mind to be civil during the separation, because it ain't going to turn into turmoil after that. Yeah, I mean, that question is like if
I mean, it's hard not to take everything personal, but it's
definitely
when it's personal.
Situation.
When it's personal,
definitely. I mean, it's going to be personal, But I would like to see all people. Of course, we'd like to see everybody together. But if it's not, what you should do is wait to know who you are, though, before you get in a relationship. Before you get married, and this is what I tell my children, actually. Know who you are, because you really don't, just like you're saying, you don't know who you are. Tell you in your 30s. Right. You're learning yourself in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? You're learning what you like, what you don't like. And when you get to that point and you can find that match of, someone that likes what you like and don't like what you don't like, and
what you're willing to put up with and not put up with.
Yeah. I'm going to keep it real. Don't get married when you're young.
Yeah.
I married my high school sweetheart. You married your high school sweetheart. We both got divorced. Don't get married quick. You should keep it real. It's a whole lot of life ahead of you.
It is.
That ain't gonna be your last piece of meat that you gonna want. Yep. Let's keep it real. Yes. Don't get married. It's the love of your life. She your shining star, and then you're gonna wake up one day and everybody else gonna start shining too, baby. Yeah. Let's keep it real. When you're that young, don't do it.
Learn yourself.
Wait a little while. Know who you are.
And also go into marriage knowing that it's work. It's work. To have a good.
It's not your girlfriend no more.
Yeah, everything's not the end of the world.
That's it. That's it. When you say I do, be willing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would also say this, because before I got married, every young lady that I dated, I had what's called the question games, and I tell them, hey, be you, because I'm gonna be me. Don't send a representative. Send exactly who you are. You know what I mean? Because I know guys that start like, I do this, cook, clean, all this stuff. And in the beginning, they did it. Ooh. Then year 4 hit. When they get tired and say, man, I was doing that just to get you. And then that's when the problem starts. And you know what I mean? When I met my wife, I said, hey, I like doing this. I like doing this. This gonna happen. Oh, I can contract it out. So we don't want that. So when I ask for certain things, I need those certain things. And we're going to always go back to that. And I'm going to say, when we first got together, because a deal breaker for me, I said, listen, I don't want to have no kids. You can have kids, but I don't want to have any. You know what I mean? Because of the situation I went with my son's mother. I said, that's not going to never happen again. I love kids, but I just knew what I was trying to do. I couldn't have a whole lot of them. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is. But just be honest. Be yourself. Don't send a representative. If you don't like something, then tell them. Communicate. Hey, but I need some things. I tell folks this all the time. I might not want to have sex every day, but I want to eat every day.
But you was older though. When you
no, this was younger.
When you realized how young?
I would say I was about 20. I was about 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, some people,
mature quicker.
Different. Mature quicker because it's just like 25. I did not know. All I think that I want is a good cooked meal. You know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Small
I'm
crap.
gonna marry you.
Small bull crap.
When you marry somebody, it's gonna have to be, can you get along with each other? Can you become friends? Because it got to be more than just sex and all that stuff. Because sex and stuff ain't gonna last throughout the years. You gonna have it's gonna be occasional, but it ain't gonna be all the time no more. So don't think you gonna get married and
tell the truth. When you get married, the sex stop. Don't do it. I'm just playing.
Kenneth said that, baby.
We're just playing.
Not for everybody, but
yeah, that's true. Marriage is not for everybody.
I got married when I was 25. I'm 40 now. Like I had at 23 years old when I met my wife, I was a virgin when I
had a baby already. I was a virgin when I met my wife.
So, but I already had in my mind, I had like a unofficial checklist of, what was going to be my deal breakers,
exactly. That's it.
But most people when they're that young, they don't have a clue. And even then I didn't know who I was really, not entirely.
When I first got married, I was about 25, 26. Then I got married again. So I was telling you right there, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I was like 22.
Yeah. Damn. So.
Yeah. Way too fast.
Way too fast.
But thinking, seeing the dynamics of my grandfather and grandmom and all of that and that whole family, that's what I seen, which is, still right at the time, you know what I mean? But yeah, things don't work out, man.
I think we always saw single family houses.
Things fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah, I never saw.
Nah.
Yeah, it was always been single family houses.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
All right, guys, I think we go.
Is that it?
Sir?
We still got time.
We still got time?
I think we
Okay. Yeah, I see the clock say 2:31.
I guess that's a wrap.
Hey, look,
they should bring us back. We got more stuff to talk about.
We got a whole lot of cars. All right, fellas.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm probably the only one that go to work.
You said Glock 20.
Even some for you trolls, talking life, lost love, how to get to the bag, the clean theory, Mo Gen Lee talks, it's the hashtag.